Destiny Payton and her messy situation with Nell Fletcher and Nell's son Lance. Now, I want you to stay with me all the way until the end of this video, because the layers in this situation are wild. And trust me, the way people are reacting online is even crazier. So make sure you watch till the end, because we're going to break down the details, the fan reactions, and even connect this drama to the bigger picture of how these cast members always find themselves tangled up in complicated friendships and blurred lines. So let's set the stage. Destiny Payton, who has had her fair share of ups and downs on the show, finds herself caught in this storyline where she's linked romantically to Nell Fletcher's son Lance. Now, Destiny has been in the spotlight before for her relationships, her divorce, her struggles as a single mom, and even her business issues. But this situation right here is different because it involves a close friendship. Nell Fletcher isn't just anybody. She's Chris Fletcher's wife, and together they've been connected to the core cast for years. They're not strangers to drama, but nobody really expected Nell's own son to be at the center of it with Destiny. Now, let me ask you this. If you had a friend, someone you were cool with, and that person suddenly started dating your child, wouldn't you feel some type of way? Be real with yourself. Would you just brush it off and say, well, that's their business? Or would you feel a little uncomfortable about those blurred lines? Because that's exactly what people are debating right now. Viewers are torn. On one hand, some believe Nell Fletcher should have given Destiny a heads up about her son's situation, but others say Nell's loyalty belongs to her son first and not to Destiny.
I just had a baby on the internet when he posted it.
Destiny Payton,
10 minutes after he texted me Happy Thanksgiving.
That she feels Nell owed her some level of respect as a friend. She feels like Nell should have told her what was going on, especially when it came to Lance already having a child. But Nell Fletcher wasn't here for that. She basically said she doesn't owe Destiny anything, and if anything, her loyalty is going to her son first, which makes sense from a mother's perspective. Still, fans are split because they feel like Nell could have at least advised Lance to be upfront with Destiny. That way, Nell wouldn't have been stuck in the middle of this awkward situation. And you know how fans are? They don't hold back. Over on the Love and Marriage Huntsville pages, Nell Fletcher was getting dragged. People were saying things like, as her friend, you could have at least advised Lance to be real, and others were saying Destiny needs to reevaluate her friendship with Nell altogether. One fan even put it plainly. Nell's loyalty is to her son, not Destiny, and it wasn't Nell's job to tell Destiny the truth. It was Lance's responsibility as the man in the situation. And you know what? That argument does make sense too. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Nell Fletcher has actually been shown trying to address the situation directly in the past. Remember last season, Nell sat down with Destiny like a grown woman and asked her straight up what was going on between her and Lucky? That conversation showed that Nell was at least trying to figure things out. But Destiny's response was basically, we grown. She made it clear she was dating, she was having fun, and she was keeping her options open. In other words, Destiny wasn't locking herself down to just one man. She said it herself. She was dating multiple people. So, here's the thing. If you openly tell somebody that you're dating, that you're grown, and you're keeping your options open, then can you really turn around and be heartbroken when you find out that person is also involved with other people or has a child you didn't know about? Or is it more about embarrassment because the truth came out in front of everybody? That's what a lot of fans are saying. That Destiny isn't really heartbroken over Lance having a baby, she's just embarrassed that the situation played out in the public eye and people were talking about her. And you know, Destiny Payton has had a history of not being fully open with people, whether it was about her marriage ending, her financial struggles, or even her friendships on the show. So, when she now expects Nell Fletcher to be fully open and honest with her, fans are calling out the double standard. Some even say Destiny has always wanted to be treated with loyalty that she doesn't always give back. That's why so many people are siding with Nell Fletcher on this one. They're saying Nell did the right thing by focusing on her son and her grandchild instead of worrying about Destiny's feelings. But let's not forget, this isn't just some random man Destiny dated. This is Nell Fletcher's son. And when family and friendship mix, things always get messier. If Nell had stepped in too much, Destiny probably would have accused her of meddling. And if Nell stayed quiet, like she did, Destiny ends up saying she wasn't loyal. Either way, Nell was going to lose. that's why this situation is so messy. It's one of those no-win situations. Now, I want you to think about this. If the roles were reversed and it was Destiny's son dating one of her friends, do you really think Destiny would have handled it with kindness? Or do you think she would have gone off and made it a big deal? Be honest about that, because fans are saying that Destiny wouldn't have respected Nell as a mother anyway. That's just not who Destiny is, and we've seen her attitude play out on the show time and time again. And speaking of attitudes, let's not forget Destiny Payton's fiery personality has been a point of tension with almost everyone on the cast. She's clashed with Melody Sherry, had drama with Martell Holt, and even rubbed Letitia Scott the wrong way at different points. So it's not surprising that fans are quick to say Destiny is playing victim once again. They feel like she always finds a way to flip situations so that she's the one who looks wronged. But in this case, people just aren't buying it. At the end of the day, Nell Fletcher was always going to choose her son. She even said it herself. She doesn't owe Destiny anything. And when that baby came into the picture, Nell made it clear where her priorities were. She was right there, taking care of her grandbaby and supporting Lance, which is exactly what a mother and grandmother are supposed to do. And honestly, can anyone fault her for that? But here's where it gets even juicier. Destiny, instead of taking this situation as a learning moment, might actually use it as fuel to stir up more drama on the show. Because you know how this works. These cast members know the cameras are rolling, they know the storylines are being built, and they know the audience is watching closely. So don't be surprised if Destiny stretches this situation out and makes it into a bigger deal than it really is, just to keep her spot in the center of the drama. And let's be real, this situation also connects back to how other cast members handle friendships and blurred lines. Martell Holt has blurred plenty of lines with his relationships, both with Melody and Arian Curry. Marceau Scott has had his fair share of questionable moments with women that left Letitia Scott defending her marriage in front of everybody. Even Melody Sherry, as much as fans love her, has had friendships fall apart because of secrets, lies, and miscommunication. So Destiny isn't the only one. She's just the latest one. Now, I want you to really think about this and drop your thoughts. In the comments, do you think Nell Fletcher betrayed Destiny as a friend? Or do you think Destiny is expecting too much from a woman whose first loyalty should always be to her son? Because that's the debate happening right now, and it's only going to get louder as the season continues. And remember, this isn't just about Destiny and Nell. This is about how Love and Marriage Huntsville as a whole keeps showing us that these cast members can't separate real life from reality TV. The lines are always blurred, friendships get tested, family bonds get exposed, and secrets always come to light. That's why you cannot miss a single second of this season. So stay tuned, because we're going to keep following this situation, and trust me, it's only going to get more explosive from here. Don't click away, because the way these storylines are overlapping with each other, the connections between Destiny, Nell Fletcher, Chris Fletcher, Martell Holt, Melody Sherry, Marceau Scott, and Letitia Scott are about to blow up even bigger. Watch till the end of every episode and make sure you're keeping your eyes open, because if history tells us anything, it's that nothing on Love and Marriage Huntsville stays quiet for long.